Hello again YouTubers, my name is Uroš and this is Break and Make. In part 1 I showed you how I made those wheels for that bandsaw and new housing for guide bearings. In this video I will show you how I made those wooden protective covers, sliding table with side supports, adapter for vacuum device and a device for cutting circles. I will also perform some tests, so stay with me till the end. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below, and now let's go. For new wooden protection covers, I cut some 18mm thick wooden boards. On the smallest board I draw a central line for drilling holes on my CNC machine. I use dowel centers for drilling holes on the right place inside boards. Here I'm drilling holes in the base plate of a vacuum holder. Base plate will be bolted in a bandsaw. I wanted to design a vacuum holder in a way that there would be a very small clearance around the wheel, so the vacuum device should collect as much dust as possible. The cover with the vacuum connector is attached to the base plate through two M8 screws and then secured with a thumb nut. For better stability of plastic connector, I applied additional board on each side. I use magnets to hold the cover in place. The silicone is applied to bond the vacuum connector to the vacuum housing. I used 24mm thick plywood to build the sliding table. Small boards were attached to the sides for better sliding performance. 30mm groove were cut with a router in a sliding table for mounting a T-slot rails. "21mm thick plywood board was cut to make a side support on the sliding table. I cut some wooden corners for side support on my CNC machine. Threaded inserts were installed to the boards to connect it with corners in 90 degrees. I couldn't wait shipment to arrive, and I decided to make T-slot guide nut from aluminium plate. I made a little higher T-slot guide nut than the T-slot rail. The reason is that I did not want a lot of movement around the axis of bolts. To prevent that, I make a little groove in the board which is deep enough to hold the side support in straight line at moving it or in place when I tightened it with thumb nut. When I will cut my boards in thinner pieces, I do not want to have my fingers near the blades, so I made a device from a wooden plate and a plastic tube which will push my boards to the side support while cutting. I will show you how it works at the end of the video. The device is attached with the threaded inserts to auxiliary side support. I wanted to have another vacuum connection for a bandsaw, and a decision was made to make a switch to start the vent at both connections. Here I'm making a device for cutting circles with or without a hole in the middle of the circle. The device is made out of the T-slot guide nut, base circle and the cover. First and the easiest part to make was a cover, then I made a groove inside of the base circle to attach a T-slot guide nut. Then I turn over both pieces to make a holes for a pin and a bolt to secure the base circle in position.
The last operation was to cut out the base circle and the T-slot guide nut.
Now that piece is completed, I think it turns out pretty well. I leave a little bit of space between them because upper part has to turn around. I think it's time to show you why I made it and how I will use it. I also flattened that piece of cherry. So let's test my bandsaw.
Plastic tubes work like a spring and they push the board to the side support. Before I tinned that piece of wood, it was flat. After cutting, it bends a little bit because of the natural forces in the wood structure, but instead of that, I'm satisfied with the results. Let's install a device for cutting circles. The base circle is secured with a bolt to a right distance from the blade. Then I install a pin to cut a circle with a hole. To cut a circle without the hole in the middle, I apply a masking tape on the device cover and also on the workpiece. Then I put a drop of super glue to bond them together.
Thank you for staying with me till the end. I hope that you enjoy and that you get some new ideas for your project as well. If you want to see more of my content, please don't forget to subscribe down below. I will appreciate it. And for the end, enjoy and see you soon. Bye.